Sandy Munro is here to talk about the new electric car brands that him and I saw at the recent CES and whether or not they still have time and enough appeal to compete with Tesla and other established EV makers. And we're gonna start right now. Welcome to E4 Electric. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss future Sandy Munro appearances on this channel moving forward. So this is the second part of the video that I filmed with Sandy back in Las Vegas when I lost my voice, which you can hear not only during the interview but even now because I still haven't gotten much of it back. So I just sound like an average 90-year-old lady in Las Vegas. Either way, we saw a bunch of new brands from all kinds of places and with all kinds of stories, so I wanted to pick Sandy's brain on whether or not any of them have a chance in this marketplace. So let's get to that part of the conversation, but before that, a quick reminder that this video is brought to you by EV Charge for You. Do you live in an apartment or a condo complex in the San Francisco Bay Area and have trouble convincing the management or the HOA to get your own EV charger installed? With the load management box from EV Charge for You, you can now install the charger of your choice, all without worrying about additional or hidden fees to get charged. Find out how by using the link in the description of this video.
Quite a few new companies that we never heard of. Let's start with TOG, a Turkish company, just coming on the market, has a good backing, has a factory in the middle of being built. What are your thoughts on them?
TOG looks very promising. I was devastated to hear that they're not going to use opera doors. It's a show car, not a... So I'd like to see what's going on, and I get an invite to go to Turkey. So I'll be hopefully seeing what I can see. You've already been to Turkey. So anyhow, I think that I'll know more after. Again, I'm a show me kind of guy, so that's kind of like where I am. So I liked that. I liked Indy.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Interesting. I'm surprised to hear you say that.
Well, I was listening to them give the little blurb to Fox News, and to me, it just sounds like, hey, there's a lot of stuff going on with this. I heard that the guy in charge is kind of like, he's not really a car guy per se. He's been into gaming forever, and he's got a tremendous amount of money. So that's another one that I was impressed with. And then VinFast, everybody's car is spectacular. Some of those are really, really nice.
Well, they have 5, and 2 of them come in, this year.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we knew about VinFast about 6 years ago. I didn't go to Vietnam. I talked to him in Hong Kong, but some of my other folks went to Vietnam to go and visit the factory and whatnot. They've been certainly working on electric cars for a longer time period than Ford, General Motors, Mercedes, whatever. They were serious, and they started out as an electric company. They didn't have to worry about anything else. They just got in and did what they needed to do.
How do you think people will receive these companies that are from Vietnam or Turkey, the countries we never think about, auto manufacturers come from, right? Do you think it's going to be an uphill battle for them?
No. So let me give you something from ancient history. When I was a kid, I grew up with a lot of World War II veterans, and about half of them fought against the Japanese in the jungles, and my dad's cousin was captured, and all kinds of horror stories and everything else. And so they were universally hated for that kind of stuff. And then on top of that, the stuff that they started bringing over initially after the war was junk. It was from Japan, it was junk. And then they started bringing cars over. It didn't take long before people said, hey, these cars are pretty good. I'm going to buy a Toyota. You meet the nicest people on a Honda. Solo Suzuki. I mean, on and on and on and on. They did a really good job of selling a car that people wanted and they bought. Okay, so I came from an era where, I wanted to join the U.S. Navy, and my dad wouldn't go for that. But anyway, I wanted to join the U.S. Navy. About, I would say about 30% of the guys that I went to high school with, they joined the U.S. forces, Marines, Army, Navy, and that means that, you know, they came across to talk to us, and then went across the border because I was living in Canada. I was Canadian then, and yeah, so I kind of know that era. And nowadays, somebody says something bad about Vietnam, they just shrug their shoulders and say, well, that was a long time ago, and things change. And so I don't think there's going to be any problem there. And as far as Turkey is concerned, lots of stuff comes from Turkey, and Turkey's never really been a giant enemy of the United States. So I don't think there's going to be any problem there, none whatsoever.
Which way do you think that will win American and European consumers over? Will be the price? Will be features or the quality? What do you think will be the main thing?
For Americans, it's always price first. That'll be the first thing that they're going to look at. Americans are basically cheap. We buy everything for less money than every other place in the world. When Japan ruled the camera industry, the cheapest place to buy a camera was not in Tokyo. It was in New York City. And that's because everybody has to tone everything as far as profitability is concerned. That has to be toned down to the American market. So I think that price will be the big stickler. Hence the reason for the $30,000 Equinox.
Okay, so you're saying even though it is 2022 now, it is not really too late to come to the market if you have a product that's either innovative or affordable.
That's correct. And it depends on the market that you're going to try and target. Now, I think the sedan market is going to get chewed up and filled up really, really quickly. The pickup market, I think, is also going to be heavily filled up. But the sedan market is already, I mean, most of the sedans are being sold are the S, the 3, and I don't really classify the Y as an SUV, but I mean, let's just say that it's a sedan for now. I'm sure you'll get bad, Sandy doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, fine. But to me, it's just a hatchback. And so that, and not that I don't like, I like the fact I push the Model Y. When friends ask, which one should I get, I tell them I really like the Y. And on top of that, I just forgot something. I have stopped throwing the X under the bus. I've probably killed quite a number of sales on the Y, but now that I've had a chance to take these longer trips and talk to people that have got the new Model Y, or Model X, I should say, they all seem to be very, very happy with them. And my God, you can't go wrong with the plushness. Now that to me is kind of like better than a minivan, but not quite a SUV.
Anything that you saw in the last few days that you said, not gonna make it?
Well, I haven't seen anything that I just absolutely said that's crap and walked away. I think that there's a lot of things that are going to be tested in the marketplace. Electric motorcycles. You know, Harley Davidson has tried that, and it hasn't really worked out well because most of those guys like to hear that rumbling and feel the vibration in their butt and stuff like that. And I'm a biker. I grew up. My first mode of transportation that I bought was a motorcycle at 16 or 17. I can't remember. I had bikes up until my wife said, "No, that's not going to happen anymore." So that's kind of like. I know what a biker wants to feel, and the wind in your face and all that other stuff, but also the noise, the vibrations, there's a thrill with riding a motorcycle. I don't know about what that thrill is going to be like with an electric bike. I don't know. It's just it'll go fast. There's no question about that. But I had motorcycles that I could crank and my hand would slip off the throttle. I mean, you're up on one wheel and you're heading and you're holding on for dear life and whatnot. I don't know what an electric bike would be like to fool around with, but that's one thing that I think is going to have you know, a pretty tough road. But I want to go back to what I did like. Did you go near that? I've forgotten the name of the company, and they have like a little delivery truck thing, and they were making coffee and espresso and handing out donuts.
Oh.
I'm telling you what, I looked at that and I thought, man, when you think about all the little donut boxes that are running around that just look like hell, and that thing, I just don't remember the name. Maybe you can.
I'll
put it
go
in
back.
as a
We're actually
title on
going
the
back.
bottom.
Yeah, we'll check it out. Well,
So I think that's got some legs. I think that I can see a lot of entrepreneurs saying, I'll get that. I'll just, you know, drive around, park on the side of the road. You have to get a peddler's permit or whatever they call that, so that you can do that sort of stuff. Busy streets. I'll take that all day long. And then they said that they can turn it into coffee on one side and ice cream cones on the other. So you can take over for the ice cream boy or man or whatever they call him nowadays.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, first of all, thank you for inviting us to your hotel room to do the taping.
very
I don't
plush
think
hotel room.
we're
Holy
using
mackerel.
a Vegas hotel room
Yeah.
appropriately, but I think I'm good with this.
Yeah.
Great to see you in person.
Thanks.
Welcome to Vegas. And I will see you back on Zoom in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
All right, it was great to see Sandy in Las Vegas. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to his channel. I put a link to it in the description of this video. Well, looking forward to all of your comments. Other than that, see you guys next time. And remember to stay charged.
Take it